All right, so we built the best roster in Madden Ultimate Team as of about April 15th. As you guys know, the Ring of Honor promo just came out, and this has completely changed the way that you should be constructing your roster, as we are getting, once again, pre-lit X Factors. Love them, hate them, they're part of the game. Let's go ahead and break down the roster here that I have for you. We are going to be running the Kansas City Chiefs on the offensive side of the ball. You guys can find both my offense and defensive game plans over at gridirongameplans.gg. Now let's get into our X Factors. We're going to start off with the X Factors because obviously right now that's kind of the way you build your roster around your X Factors. So we're going to start off with our quarterback, Bo Jackson. Still rocking the Combine Bo Jackson with the Truz X Factor. After 9 plays, he cannot fumble on regular hits. Be careful, you still can lose the ball due to strip animations, but if you guys are careful with this, you'll be just fine. This is a key component of my offense due to the fact that we run a fair amount of option, speed option, read option, and also it's huge in the open field on scrambles when you drop back. So you guys are going to see with my offensive line giving me a crazy pocket to step up into. Awesome to have the Truz X Factor. Then, of course, we're going to have the Angry Runs X Factor. Eric Dickerson also rocking the Combine setup. This is going to light up after 9 plays and stay lit up for the rest of the game. You guys know what that's about, breaking tackles nonstop. Then for the wide receivers, we're going to run Randy Moss with Yak 'em Up. Yes, there are players in the game that get pre-lit Yak 'em Ups. If you guys would rather use those, feel free to do so. Let's go ahead and get into our offensive line. Now, I've done a video specifically on the offensive line, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, but we really haven't changed the AP setup. We're going to go with a post-up secure protector at center. This allows me to block one-on-one with the center or help secure double teams when he participates in a double team with the guards. Now, both of our guards are going to have secure protector and all day. The reason we do this is that in the event that a guard is left one-on-one, the secure protector starts the first blocking animation, will hold that block up so you don't give up an instant win. All day holds against the second and third moves, which just gives you all day interior for the pocket. Again, we run this on both of our offensive guards. So I've got this on Onwenu, who is out of position as well. On the tackles, we're going to be rocking just secure protector. I do have linchpin as well on Andrew Thomas. From there, it's totally up to you what else you guys want to add. I'm big on the identifier ability. I think it's absolutely massive for checking into runs or RPOs or seeing when your opponent is basically over adjusting their defense or hiding on a nickel corner or clicked onto a D tackle so you can quick snap. I think it's completely valuable for you guys. Now, in terms of your wide receiver, it's going to be up to you, but I would recommend it. The wide receiver position probably gives me jukeboxes as possible. As you guys know, RPO-based game, after the catch, being able to juke, be able to make that simple throw to the flat turn into a home run call for you. I like Randy Moss with the jukebox. There, of course, are other receivers in the game that have this as well. Me being a Bears fan, I do have Keenan Allen, 99 speed, Sugar Rush card. He also gets mid and elite. I run a lot of compression-based plays. So in the event that I do face man-to-man, Keenan Allen lined up in the slot with mid and elite on a post or a corner will get a separation boost due to that ability. It also helps for catching the ball in traffic over the middle against mid-zone KOs. Not really a huge difference maker there, but it sometimes will help you out. And then, of course, our third receiver is going to be Ring of Honor Devin Hester. This card is an absolute freak. If we take a look at him, he's got Return Man and Energizer. This is huge because he is going to break tackles with Return Man. Energizer is going to fill back up his stamina. This also helps on any play in the open field where maybe you make a juke and fake somebody out. He's going to get full stamina back, and it's going to be really hard to catch 99 speed from behind if they have a full stamina bar. Then from there, we're just going to rock the 2 other free abilities. Playmaker, so if I want to put him on a drag, I can playmaker him up the field against zone, and also mid and elite, same as the Keenan Allen. Now let's get over to the defensive side of the ball, starting off with our X Factors. I am a big triple universal coverage guy. Now I've got Jair Alexander, and I'm not very proud of this, but I will say that Jair Alexander was starting to feel a little bit slow for me. I did decide to go 25 Packers on the bench. Yes, I did this as a Bear fan, but really it's just for this one player, this Jair Alexander card. Really no other Packers start for me, unless you're considering Ted Hendricks. But you see it boosts him up to 98 speed, and with the universal coverage on the Genki Force card, it lights up after 3 plays. Then we talk about Nnamdi Asomugha, the Real Deals item. He's going to be a universal coverage with his free pick artist and free flat zone. So he's not really terrible when he's not in the zone. He gets pick artist and flat zone, which is great. After 6 plays, he gets universal coverage for the rest of the game, and you'll be good to go there. And then our third universal coverage is Tariq Woolen. You see him hidden up at the backup free safety. I actually start him at the outside corner position. His lights up after 9. Now, with Tariq Woolen, one thing that I will tell you that I have done with him is I have paid for the deep out KO, or the deep KO in general. I think that 9 plays is a long time to wait for him to light up. So I do pay 1 AP so he has a deep KO ability to start the game for those 9 plays. And then once he's universal coverage, yes, it's overlap, but it's worth it, okay? Now, for those of you that are asking, okay, hey, Zan, what about momentum shift? I just want to say real quick, when you have a player that lights up after 3 plays, a player that lights up after 6 plays, and a player that lights up after 9 plays, it's going to be really hard for your opponent to use a momentum shift defensive tackle or the Lawrence Taylor item, for instance, that just came out. They're going to have to sub him in and out 3 times, burn 3 timeouts, take 3 offside penalties. And then after that 3rd, 6th, and 9th, they're out of timeouts. They have to start taking delay of games. 3 plays later, 6 plays later, and 9 plays later. As you can see with this, there's a lot of grieving that can occur with this. This can lead to them getting disconnected. So I'm not really too worried about it. So for those of you that are worried about the momentum shifts, I live with it. Again, part of the reason that I do run my lineup the way I do, having the free knockout on Nnamdi, having the 1 AP knockout on Tariq, if they're not in the zone, they're still valuable. Okay. Then up top, let's talk about our safeties. We are rocking 2 safeties, the Troy Polamalu with the deep zone, mid zone, and pick artist for 1, and the Kyle Hamilton with deep zone, mid zone, and pick artist for 3. Now, with the Kyle Hamilton, it's important to remember that he does get all 32 team chems. So technically, I gave him Packers chem. We obviously know him as a Raven, but this boosts him as well to 98 speed. So now I've got a couple dudes that may be a little bit too slow for my liking in-game Madden. We boost them up by 1 point, and they're very usable at 98 speed. Now, of course, this leaves us with a ton of AP left over. After all, we're really only paying a total of 6 AP to 3 players. That leaves us 5 left over. I think that this is where we talk about the most important part of how players are building their teams incorrectly right now. Ed O'Neill, Fred Warner. These are cards that I love in terms of their speed. I think you could obviously get this stack for cheaper on somebody like Tremaine Edmonds if you wanted to rock mid-zone lurk artist and secure tackler for a total of 1, but he's only 94 speed. Ed O'Neill comes in at a very, very fast and agile 97 speed, and he gets all 3 of those abilities for 3 total AP. I still think that's a very good deal to have Al Bundy at middle linebacker with all 3 of those abilities. And then, of course, we have Fred Warner, who is going to get all of these abilities for 2 AP. He is only 95 speed. I tolerate it. It's fine. We'll get through it. And the reason I like this is that I don't really have to worry too much about basically moving players out of the game. I've got a knockout lurk artist linebacker. All of a sudden they have a glowing Bo Jackson the rest of the game. I have to sub out my lurk artist knockout player and put in a secure tackler. I don't want to do that. So I will go ahead and bite the bullet here, pay the 5 AP for 2 linebackers with all 3 abilities. My starters stay in the game. I don't have to worry about kicking people around the field to, just kind of piecemeal my roster or platoon my roster together. And this brings us to our defensive line. So when we take a look at the D line, I am running Ted Hendricks with lurk artist and Zaven Collins with lurk artist on the edge. I like to drop my defensive ends into zone for zone blitzing purposes. I like to use the bluff blitz trick to man up the running back. So I use usually coverage first players as my edges. These guys also happen to have pretty good pass rushing skill as well. So when I do rush the passer, they can shed. In terms of my D tackles, we are running Aaron Donald with inside stuff, secure tackler, and relentless for 0. We're running the Ring of Honor JJ Watt with run stopper, which is basically inside stuff and no outsiders, secure tackler, and out of my way for 0. So our defensive tackles can shed. They can tackle the Bo Jacksons. Our linebackers can tackle the Bo Jacksons. We're in a real good spot. And of course, we also have other depth pieces in our defense that can also tackle. Tremaine Edmonds, if I want to put a 3rd linebacker on the field that can tackle. Bo Jackson, if I want to run a 3-4 defense with 4 tackling linebackers. Lawrence Taylor has secure tackler, lurk artist, edge threat. I can use him as a full-time pass rusher if I decide for whatever game I don't want to drop a guy in coverage off the edge. Lawrence Taylor can come in with the lurk artist and the secure tackler and the edge threat elite for the under pressure purposes. So we have effectively built the best possible roster for the way I play the game against Kansas City Chiefs on both sides of the ball. You'll see the offense and the defense. The defense is the big nickel over G. Let's get into the gameplay. All right, so we got a good game here. This is an opponent that runs more of that. You guys know it is a civil offense, kind of, I'll just be honest, it's a crackhead offense where you roll out and chuck a bunch of roaming dead-eye bombs over the top. I think that this is a really good example to show you guys the way that we play defense against this meta. A lot of players are struggling with rollout bombs, roaming dead-eye throws. So let's go ahead and get to work here. Of course, we're going to be starting off on the defensive side of the ball here. Opponent is going to be, to be honest, I don't know what playbook this is. Could be Green Bay. Basically, I just know he's going to be running a lot of trips tight end, bunch tight end, hopping around a little bit of bunch. He basically has one play touchdowns that he's just trying to spam out of a million different looks. And we are going to be in the big nickel over G. As I mentioned, if you guys are watching the scroll at the bottom of the screen, that is a little dated from previous stream. So I did a massive update. You guys can check me out on twitch.tv/ZanMadden, much like this YouTube channel ZanMadden, just twitch.tv/ZanMadden. But typically I'll do roster overhauls on Thursdays. That's usually when they do big content drop, and I'll make a lot of changes. And then the following week, I'll update my scroll bar at the bottom. But basically here, we're starting off in the big nickel over G, trips tight end. He motions out. Right here, we're backing up the slot corner. You can bet on him being in a deep zone. Want to get him out to the sideline. He's basically doing a rollout bomb with a comeback route on the same side as a deep corner. So I do think that that is the play triple out. If I were to guess, that play does have a deep corner you should respect. But you saw right there where you were able to bag it up pretty easily. 3rd down and 4 right here. I actually came out in the wrong play. You saw the safety walk down in the box. So I'm trying to make a custom adjustment here to a cover 3 play. You see right here, I'm lurking on Ed O'Neill. Again, the benefit of this particular defense is that both of my linebackers do have KOs. Although you will see sometimes when I rush 3, I have to blitz my user. Right there, we got a little unlucky. He threw that ball in the middle of a bunch of KOs. And as you guys know, when you catch the ball in between 2 or 3 KOs, the offense holds on to it. So big conversion right there for him. Stays down, on offense here, 1st down and 10. You see right here, he's also got the Scary Terry, AKA item. I think that's a yak him up. This is a post bomb, looking for that skinny post streak combo. And again, you see right there, we've got it pretty well clamped. If you guys are wanting to know how my defensive game plan is set up over on Gridiron, within my Kansas City Chiefs game plan, I have videos for the big nickel over G, the zone drops I use, the match settings I use, and the exact coverage that I set up against, say, bunch tight end, trips tight end, tight, bunch strong. So if you guys struggle with those, all these setups are actually broken down in detail. This is a defense that we will run oftentimes against the basically that crosser meta out of dagger. You saw right there, we got really unlucky, another catch in traffic. But overall, if you kind of take a look at the body of work here, we're already clamping up. It's just we're not getting the knockouts. We've had 2 balls that we haven't knocked out so far. Right here, going to flip his strength. This is our trips tight end shell. So we're quickly into our trips tight end defense. After that audible, we're able to set it up. He's not able to quick snap us. Ball snapped, going basically verticals with a drag and a kind of a Texas route. Right there, a good toe tap on the sideline. Troy Polamalu lets up, and Amon-Ra picks up the 1st down. So kind of the first real dot I've given up here on this drive. Another trips tight end look here down in the red zone. If I'm you guys, I'm thinking, got to stop the bubble screen, got to stop the quick table route. I'm setting up for a gap shoot right here, trying to protect against a RPO inside zone. Right here, he goes to a rollout. This is how I knew it was the civil defense. I played civil basically 2 weeks ago, and he was doing this trips tight end rollout with the hitch and then basically the sail pattern that goes over the top of it. That rollout sucks the zones to the inside with that hitch, and then they throw into the corner of the end zone. So kind of what I saw him running the bunch tight end bomb setup, I kind of figured that his red zone offense would be a little bit more geared towards what civil does as well. He goes under center here. I was honestly thinking rollout glitch with the quarterback, so I actually set up a quarterback rollout defense. Good little jet sweep right there and a jertle into the end zone. So you see right there, he is on the board to start. I'm honestly not too worried though. Just being real with you, we had a defensive stop where we should have gotten off the field with that streak to the running back in triple coverage. And then we had that one other throw where it was like, oh man, he picked up 30 yards on a crossing route where we hit him in air and he landed on his feet and held onto the football. So Kind of unlucky on that drive, but a good opening drive nonetheless for him. It ends in points. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, we are in the Kansas City Chiefs offense, our base offense. We talk about Kansas City Chiefs offense in every single video, darn near. I'm giving you guys tips on how to attack the meta. We are tight open into Trey Y Flex, Trey Y Flex Strong, Bunch Y Flex. Also run a little bit of the Bunch Strong and the Bunch X Nasty shotgun formations as well. I go quickly through my audibles here. Oh, we also do run a little bit of Trey Open and a little bit of the Chips Nasty. So this is a very multiple offense. It's all shotgun. What I love about it is we're able to come out 2 by 2. We got kind of compressed formation where we can command the respect of the most prominent metas, Dollar and 6-1. I love this formation against Dollar and 6-1. We run the ball so effectively against it. And speaking of run the ball, this Dickerson card that I showed you guys at the start of the video is absolutely cracked out. Okay, I'm telling you, one of the best running backs, arguably the best running back I've used all year. And that's before you talk about his AP setup. Just the way that he fights for yards and falls forward, really, really good. And then you factor in, he's got the human joystick. He's got the other abilities that come for free, jukebox. Just truly awesome. So here we go. First look into the empty Chips Nasty. I love this because I can kind of get those blocks from my wing players. Right here, I figured he was in a cover 4. I got that tell. So you see right there, I was able to hold up and we throw a post bomb, and that's Devin Hester. Just like that up top. You see we're able to avoid the KO with that throw. This is a money one-play touchdown. So again, this whole walk down meta, 1, we can run the ball on Dollar. 2, we can block the blitz out of it. And 3, it is extremely bombable. A lot of times when I start off the game, I kind of want to see, are they blitzing out of this walk down, or are they just trying to scare me? And I actually saw on that first run, it was kind of a passive run defense. He wasn't really blitzing. So I figured, okay, he's probably the type that does the walk down and audibles into coverage and occasionally will send pressure. So I called a cover 4 1-play touchdown bomb on the very next play. Didn't need previous play to see what he was in. You could just tell by the way that the zones flow. Which, if you guys are struggling with reading defenses, I actually did a video just last week on how to kind of read the safety drops and figure out what shell they're in if you don't have previous play. But we got some work to do here as we are back on defense. Again, he is in trips tight end, so we are setting up. I've got a couple different trips tight end defenses I run. Right here, this is basically a cover 3 cloud. You see right here, he's going up top, throws a bad read in the seam, and for whatever reason, that Jair Alexander did not put his hands up for a catch, but you saw, most importantly, he was in position to. I kind of talked about why I went to the 25 Packers, even as a Bear fan, to make him a little faster. That throw actually was getting lobbed over his head at 97 speed. This is a bug in the game right here. He basically snapped the ball as I was base aligning, and it gave me an offsides to a player that really wasn't offside. So he able to pick up the first down there, free play. But all in all, again, I'm not too worried about this. The body of work and how he's moved the ball is not sustainable. A lot of holding on to the ball in crazy traffic. And now you see we have all 3 of our universal coverages glowing. So that's part of the game, is trying to have a long drive on defense, our first drive, to get everybody in the zone. And then I can play my entire library of coverages the rest of the game. It's the benefit of using the universal coverage at those 3 spots. Basically gives them KOs at any coverage. I could play man under in this case, and basically the 3 universal coverages will act as 1 step ahead with all the man KOs. I don't do that, but it is something that I could do. But on top of that, it's flat zone, mid zone, and deep zone. Again, another rollout corner right there. Pretty good adjustment by him. He saw I was in a press alignment with the cloud flat. He knew I couldn't get back to it. That is something I'm going to have to pay attention to, as you'll notice this trend of him doing the rollout corners against my pressed alignment. So you see I'm in the big nickel over G. I basically walk my coverage down. He knows he can't throw the sideline quick throw to B, so he's not even trying to. But what he does know is that he can roll out and throw these corner routes into the sideline. Right there, he had an awful free form. Honestly, if he would have left that in play, we would have had a KO with Polamalu either way. But it is 2nd down and 10 here. Again, this is pulled from my Twitch stream. If you guys have not checked out my Twitch streams, I am live Monday through Friday in the afternoons. Make sure you guys are checking me out, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. Quick throw underneath on the drag. We set up a 3rd down and 5 here. And that's quickly the end of our first quarter. So again, here as he enters the red zone, I'm kind of thinking, all right, well, what is it that he's big on? Obviously, he's throwing a lot of rollout corners here from trips tight end. I know his inside the red zone is that hitch rollout combo. I know he likes the little jet sweep. So I feel okay. Here he goes, audibles into the trips tight end. I'm kind of thinking the bunch RPO here. I'm also thinking maybe triple out, double corner. A lot of different things this could be. Could be slant post with the tight end. He snaps the ball, and I get run into by his wide receiver, and I get an illegal contact. Far and away, one of my least favorite things about this game is sometimes the game, when the ball is snapped, the computer just kind of drops back into coverage for a couple steps, and then once you take over as the user, it bumps into somebody and you get penalized for it. It is what it is. It is what it is. First down and 10 for him. This time we're playing off coverage on the outside due to the rollout corner, but I actually switched up to a match coverage call, and unfortunately we got picked. You saw right there the safety that was in man-to-man on that corner got picked by the slot receiver, ran into him a little bit. So really unfortunate. A lot of bumping on that drive led to his second score. Again, I did give up 2 straight scoring drives, but I'm really not that worried. Most of what he has scored on or what's gotten him his yardage is just not sustainable. You can't bet on guys bumping into each other. You can't bet on guys holding onto the ball on a 50-yard chuck on a crossing route, getting hit and held in the air and spine busted and still holding onto the football against a KO. You can't bet on a seam throw into triple coverage against 3 KOs and holding on to it. But the reality is that he's got 14 points, and that, love it or hate it, the skill gap in this game sometimes comes down to you've got to endure the BS. If you allow it to tilt you, you don't play clear-minded the rest of the game. These are the games you can easily lose. But when you actually take a step back and look at it through a rational lens, he's lucky to have 14. So we'll be okay. So here we are, basically audibling into our bunch nasty. Right here, I'm looking for another bomb setup. He's not doing the walk down anymore. I chased him out of that after 2 plays. You see the 3-man rush and bad pocket right there. I thought I was going to be able to secure that double team up the middle and scramble, and I ran straight into a contain off of Karlaftis. That's just totally my fault. Really passive right there on the pass rush. I would have had all day, and I should have played smarter. You see right here, he's backing up his corners on the outside. That's usually a tell for me that this is some sort of double Mabel with the slots in the flat. Identifier showed me he moved his slot corner out over my middle receiver. So I'm kind of reading this RPO that I showed you guys the other day. Last Friday, I showed you the best RPO in the game, which is the Omaha Alert out of the Trey Y Flex. And you saw right there, because he made that adjustment to take away the quick flat, I went ahead and handed it off and picked up 5 yards, or actually a little bit more than that because we got sacked. So we picked up pretty good chunk of yardage right there. 3rd down 5. This is the real draw of this offense. This is the speed option. And right now we aren't yet in the zone. In fact, actually in this game, I think my X factors glitch out. He did not momentum shift me in this game. For some reason, my guys got locked and they did not accrue their yards to be able to get in the zone. It's really odd, but that's what happened. But nonetheless, it's still safe. Bo Jackson picks up a huge gain there. Right here, trips tied, motion to basically a bunch setup and run the inside zone. Another good way to kind of seal the edge against the dollar meta. A lot of them like to pinch in their defensive line. Just makes the run game out of this tight open formation all the better. Again, another double safety walk down. He hasn't really shown me a blitz look yet, so I'm kind of in this spot not too worried about it. But you saw right there, he actually did send it. The linebacker on the left blitzed. You also saw the safety on the left blitz. So that tells me, even against a run play, okay, now he's in a spot where he's not sitting back anymore. He might be sending the pressure. Because he pinched his line here, I'm thinking this is probably the 4-man A gap. So I go ahead and call the read option. And unfortunately, he clicked on. That was a good play by him. But had he not clicked on, a lot of times the computer crashes down. And I'm able to pull that with a quarterback and scamper in for a touchdown. Again, just a lot that you have to worry about. And because Dollar doesn't have read and react AI towards this formation, I can run the inside zone, the speed option, and the read option until the cows come home, and he's going to have to get out of it. So if he stays in it, we're going to be able to have a field day. Again, backing up those outside corners, typically associated with a double Mabel defense. You see right there, he moves Nnamdi, he moves Williamson in the slot. Because he's moving all these guys around, I kind of think, all right, he's not really super comfortable stopping the run. He's trying to move people for the purpose of, shedding angles. So I went ahead and handed it off to make it a 4th down and 2. I'm notorious for that. 3rd and medium, and I know I'm going for it, I'm going to make it fourth and manageable, especially if I know you're not blitzing when you're moving all those guys around super passively. Again, another speed option. I hold on to it and just pick up the first down. Because he's spreading, or I'm sorry, rather than spreading, he's pinching his defensive line down. He loses the player that is supposed to play the speed option, and I could just cheat those yards because he's going to, pinch that guy in and just give me the easy layup. So again, he's in this dollar defense, moving quickly here in the second quarter. This is a setup I'll go to where I'll use the ghost route by the running back to try to pull the flat zones down. And then I'm looking for a post route into the side of the end zone. You see right here, trying to look for it, but unfortunately had some guys disengage, and probably should have thrown that ball away, but I was trying to buy extra time. Karlaftis, his second tackle for loss here on this particular drive. But again, pretty passive defense. Not really blitzing too heavily. Again, backing up those corners. I'm going to go into this Trey Y flex again. Now he's pressing down. Again, 2nd and 19. Let's make it 3rd and manageable and 4th and manageable. He can't stop that RPO. It's the best RPO in the game. Definitely the best RPO in the game against dollar. And it sets up 3rd down and 6, and he burns a timeout. I was going to burn a timeout if he didn't. I usually wait a couple seconds to see what they're thinking, and then I'll burn my timeout if I want to. But nonetheless, right here, he's in this dollar walk down, pinch the D line. The thing that it could be is the A gap. He moves Simmons right there. So I'm not necessarily thinking that he's blitzing me. I go to the RPO, and that time he didn't respect the flat. That's the throw that I showed you guys in last Friday's video, and we're able to steal the first down from him. So pretty easy stuff here. 1-play touchdown bomb, simple RPOs, taking the right calls. And now he's in the 4-3, even 6-1. This is layup. This is a layup. I see this. I'm going speed option. I'm going to make that right outside linebacker jump down at me, and I'm going to pitch it over his head and scamper into the end zone for a touchdown. So he burns the timeout, allows me to run my full offense. I had 3 timeouts either way, but gave me an extra one right there. And most importantly, I did not leave him a ton of time. I still do have to play defense right here, but I'm not too worried about this situation because we have put ourselves in a spot where really he's only kind of picked up his chunk yardage through fluke, if we're being truthful. And, he's going to have to shove downfield if he wants to score 3 before half. And we have ball at half. So that's another part. So here we go, back on defense. This time I'm thinking, all right, what has he done for the couple completions he's deserved? It's been rollout corners. What's been the reason those have been open? It's been my outside corners being pressed. So you see right here, I decided to make this change. He audibles from bunch, trips tight end into bunch strong. Right here in this situation, I decide to leave it with this defense and just roll my coverage and back it up. I roll my coverage shell across the formation. He's looking for his corner route. I take his trail route, perfect defense for it. I think right there he was looking to quick snap me if I flipped with him. Instead of that, I just stayed adjusting my defense. I got my zone drop set up. Quarters, yes, I didn't necessarily flip the nickel corner with him, but we still could run the same coverage defense to that side. Now we're in a press alignment, and this probably tells you, okay, I'm respecting the RPO. I don't want to give you a quick throw to the flat, but I do have to worry about the corner route to the right. He does go to basically the Durham setup. He uses a skinny post from the backside. Not a very good setup right there. We had defense for that. And now it's 3rd down and 10. So I just need one more stop right here. Keep him from really getting towards field goal range. 17 seconds left. He quick snaps, goes to basically slot post. Doesn't have a pull route on the left side. Bad route combination. I was able to just sit back in that coverage. My KO is able to make a play over the middle. Pretty easy defense right there. And with this being a situation where even if he converts a first down, it's not field goal range. This is the smart call to punt. So he's going to go ahead and punt this ball away. So we've effectively put this into a second half scenario where we dictate the pace of the game the rest of the way. We're no longer chasing his possessions. I don't really feel like he deserved the 14 he got in the first half. Sans a couple of decent reads, but we've done a good job of managing clock. I'll go ahead and, he's going to show you a little quarters 3 deep action here, I believe. And obviously I'm spoiling it. We don't score here, but what I am going to do against the quarters 3 deep is set up a cover 3 touchdown bomb, preferably with a guy that I know that can beat man to man in case it's man under 3 deep, which it usually is. You see right here, he's moving guys around. This is actually a seam bomb down the right seam for cover 3. And really I'm looking for A. So I'm reading that top outside right safety if he bites down. You see right there, he doesn't. In fact, he's in a half or an inside quarter. So I go ahead and just throw the crossing route. I'm going to try to make some stuff happen right here. A little jertle, a little juke. And if I had made that one happen, we might have been gone. But nonetheless, pretty quick first half. 3 of 3 for 100 yards. 14-14 ball game. And it is our ball coming out of the half. Again, things you're kind of thinking about going into half. What has he done well on defense? Not a lot. Really has kind of just played a passive dollar, some base rushing. I've shown I can pick up the blitz. I've shown I can establish the run game on dollar. He doesn't really like being in dollar right now. You could just tell, not super comfortable with a drop coverage or a blitz approach. The 6-1 gets gashed by the speed option. It also gets gashed by RPOs. So my game plan is just to stay with what's happened so far in the first half. Right here, I just run this out to get to a hash. I really like being on a hash coming out of half, even if it concedes 5 yards. I think that starting, your drive on a hash leads to consistency. We talk about this in my videos. If you guys haven't seen my educational content, maybe you're here just checking out a commentary, make sure you guys check out the tips. This stuff we always talk about. It's always important to be on a hash. You get consistent, reproducible outcomes from zones. Right here, he's in 6-1, walking his guys out. I honestly could have thrown that flat right there. You saw the guy freeze in the flat. I probably could have thrown the ball to Y, but why do that when you're running the ball as effectively as we have in this game? So you see right here, he's definitely starting off little 6-1. Now he's getting back into the dollar. So again, here with this, he hasn't really blitzed me a ton. I'm not too worried about the double safety walk down because again, you've got just the threat of maybe the left A gap. We can block that. I do this motion of the tight end across and we run the inside zone. And this is the importance of the human joystick right here. If you have a running back that has human joystick, which Dickerson gets for free, you saw that defensive end squeeze down. If you have that human joystick, you can veer back without slowing down. And that's what that allowed me to do right there, was turn that into 4 yards. Pretty unimpressive in terms of, it's only 4 yards, but that could have been a loss of 3 without human joystick. So here we are back into the bunch X nasty again, double safety walk down, dropping coverage yet again. And I'm looking for the bomb play. And you see right there, we're going to throw this up and we have a touchdown. That's Randy Moss this time. We've had 2 complete bombs over the top. Devin Hester in our first drive, Randy Moss on our third drive. And now we are up 21-14. So here we are. We've got the lead now. His offense is pretty much what you face the majority of the time. Yeah, he does mix in the trips tight end a little bit more than most. Most players are bunch to bunch strong, but bunch to trips, you face a lot. Trips to bunch strong, you face a little bit. This is all stuff we face, and it's all stuff that I've drilled and, kind of gotten down in terms of our setups. I know exactly how I want to deal with the way that he audibles out of formations at this point. I know that his real big plays are all perimeter rollouts, looking for rollout corners, and we can stop that. So we just need to make some slight adjustments. I talked about it a little bit at the end of our drive before half on defense. He's gotten his production because of my pressed outside corners, so I'm not going to give him that anymore. You see right here, we're playing standard off alignment. Got that zone drop. He's looking for the corner down the right side. He doesn't have it this time. And now you see he's rolling out. He tries to juke back to the inside. I click on and strip. That's really important to remember. Clicking on and stripping, even if they have truz, you can strip the ball right there. He didn't, but I was able to, when he got that first tackle animation, you see right here, I'm using O'Neal. He's looking for something, tries to swerve. First guy comes on. I just go ahead and hit the strip ball button and boom, ball comes out. If you're the second player to a tackle, that strip ball button can poke out the ball so often. Make sure you guys are pressing the right bumper or R1. So now we're in real good shape. We're up 21-14. We're clamping down in coverage. Look at the offensive line going to work against 6-1 there. 10 rushes, 81 yards, a touchdown for Dickerson. We haven't gotten our glitchy pre-lits. I had enough people tell me that, your pre-lit made. A lot of times when I stream, people would complain about the pre-lits. Our pre-lits are glitched. They're glitched. I'm running this offense naked right now. No pre-lit X factors, no angry runs, running the ball for 8 a pop, speed option. Right here, pretty good defense. Juke back to the inside. Dickerson's a monster. And we are able to get into the end zone. And if you guys haven't seen that movie, you really ought to. Those who know. Paul Rudd. So up by 14. And really, again, most of his offense has not been stuff that's sustainable at this point. So we'll get back here on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to kind of squeeze forward a little bit. And then right here, I'm checking because I was wondering why my guys weren't pre-lit. And I was looking to see if he had a momentum shift, and it didn't look like he did there. So again, we're back on the defensive side here. Basically one stop for the ball game here. And he's coming out in the bunch tight end. So again, what do I have to be worried about? Skinny post streak bomb with the tight end corner. I have to be worried about the motion out of Hayward Bay on a comeback route with a deep corner over the top and a streak. That's another one that's pretty popular. So you have to be ready right here. I back up my corner here on the outside. Right here, I'm setting up kind of like a cover 3 Mabel. So I'm going to have a flat, a deep zone, and a quad flat on that side. You see right here, he's going for that rollout, looking for that deep corner route. Nothing doing there, okay? So able to prevent that from popping open. And second down. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, he tried that bomb. He's probably going to try the skinny post bomb with I think the first time he ran it was a streak, a skinny post, and a hitch and a tight end corner. And that goes to the short side of the field from the wide side. And you saw right there, now we're over here on this side. So I'm right here, I'm expecting Y on a streak, X on a skinny post, B on a hitch, and the tight end on a corner. And you see it's a whip. And actually right there, that was more of like a trips tight end style RPO, but boom, Polamalu forces the fumble. Big time hit right there. In fact, when I made this hit stick, my thumbstick actually fell off my modded controller. And you see right there, that was enough for my opponent. Here's the replay. See right there, boom, missed the first tackle, Polamalu with the second one, the big cleanup, and that will do it. So I'm going to plan on doing more of these. These are a little bit easier for me to do now that Charlotte is out in daycare. I'm still going to be doing the regular tip stuff for you guys as well, but I'm going to try to get these commentary style videos out in addition to the tips content. I know a lot of channels out there do tips content, and that's something you guys respond to. So I'm going to add it into my arsenal. I know I've said that in the past. It's been really tough with the baby here, but now with her starting daycare, they're going to give me a little bit more time to go to work for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys did, make sure you guys give the video a like, comment below. If you guys want the offense and defense, it's over on gridirongameplans.gg right there below. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.